All the meets Migos and Impossible Migos, my name is Tam316 and welcome back to another reaction video, and welcome my second reaction to the Mrs. Merton show. So, I had previously, back in late last year, somebody sent me 3 episodes of this show. The 3 episodes they sent me were Series 1, Episode 2, Series 2, Episode 7, and Series 3, Episode 1. The last 2 of which were Christmas specials, and Series 2, Episode 7 I actually did in the Christmas month last year. Now, people told me in the comments that the episode of the show I really wanted to see, and I still don't know why, but the episode I really wanted to see, because I guess it was the most notable episode of the show, was Series 1, Episode 1. But I didn't have that one. I had Series 1, Episode 2, and surprisingly, I could not find this show online. Which is weird because, like, there's copyright on the show, but there's no block, so, like, it's easy to upload. And people have uploaded, like, best of compilations, but, like, no individual episodes. Very weirdly. I couldn't find any individual episodes. I'm like, oh, that sucks. I guess I can't find the episode. But I also thought it was weird that I had been sent Series 1, Episode 2, the episode right after the one people thought was notable. So I watched the very beginning of this episode and looked at the Wikipedia page to see if the names lined up. And I watched the very beginning of the episode to see who was on the show, and turns out the episode I have actually is Series 1, Episode 1, and it was just mislabeled. And we're going to watch it right now. Alright, here we go. I forgot this was a really good thing.
Share the joy that's in her heart throughout the world.
The only spoiler I got from seeing who was on the show is that Steve Coogan's on this, which you'll hear in a second. The hell of a guest for your first episode.
I'm Mrs. Merton, and welcome to the show. My guests tonight are of such a high calibre, we nearly didn't get them. But who can refuse 2,000 quid and a chance to show off to millions of people? Not Steve Coogan, that's for sure. So he's on the show. Now, every woman's dream is to marry Paul Daniels. This dream came true for the lovely Debbie McGee, and she'll be popping up later. So that'll please my regular band Hookie and the boys.
This is up to where I saw, by the way.
Quite musical, that. They didn't perk up a bit when I told them Debbie was on, and you can't move here for the stench of Old Spice. You know, normally they don't wash. But without further ado, here's a man who came 3rd in the Olympics, but he's coming first here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Akabusi.
Hey, a medal's a medal.
Oh, sit down. Oh, it's lovely to have you on. Lovely aftershave. Seriously, I bet they can smell it back there. So, Chris Akabusi. Now, I'm not David Coleman, you know. Everybody will tell you that, you know.
You're far good looking, much better looking.
Oh, thank you, Chris. But, you know, I do take an avid interest in sport, obviously. So, Chris Akabusi, what do you do sports-wise?
Well, I've just been transferred to Man United. I'm playing centre.
Oh, nice.
So, what sort of thing? It was
they need the help,
wasn't it?
That's well, every now and again. I'm only run to the toilet now, but yes, I used to run when I was on the track and do the hurdles, by the way.
The hurdles as well.
Didn't you see the entrance where I jumped over the...
I did, it was marvellous.
Do it again.
I was...
No.
I was trying to watch it, but it was the aftershave. But tell us, when did you realise first that you could run?
I suppose really it was my mother who realised, because I, you know, dribbled down her breast when I was... No, that's best. I was a breastfed baby, you see. That's what I meant.
Oh, wait.
But actually, no, I
I
don't.
wasn't actually asking you that.
Yeah, that's a weird
Take me
answer, bro.
through a typical race. You know, you're all lined up there with your feet in them clamps. What's going through your mind, Chris Akabusi?
Not too much, to be honest, because obviously, you know, this is the big thing. And all of a sudden, you hear the sort of starter say, "On your marks,"
And
it's
then-
like,
Is that coming from you, that noise? Is that a technique to put the other athletes off?
It's not a bad idea.
What it is, it's called a turbocharger.
But do you have to plan, you know, your tactics before the race, or do you just try and run faster than the other blokes?
Well, obviously, by the time you get to the track, if you're not ready to run fast, it's all history.
Yes.
But yeah, before the race, you do a lot of mental preparation. You get yourself in gear, and running gear as well as mental gear, and you prepare very hard. But when it comes to the big day, your mind goes blank. You just focus into what you got to do. You just hear the gun go bang, and you just run as fast as you can. Simple as that.
It sounds very simple. Are you sure it wasn't for laughing you won your medal, not for running? I love people who laugh a lot at
Do you laugh a lot, Mrs. Merton?
Oh, I do. And a friend of mine, Lily, she laughs from getting up in the morning till going to bed at night, you know. She laughs at everything. She's a little bit simple, really. But those lycra shorts that they make you wear, there's been a lot of fuss about those, haven't there? Do you think they're making a mountain out of a molehill?
That's the sort of question you would ask Mr. Christie.
Really?
But what I want to say is they're a very important fashion accessory.
I bet they are.
Before the old lycra shorts came in, we used to have these real short shorts.
Yes.
And I can remember one of my... you remember those very short
do,
shorts?
yes.
Back in your day, Mrs. Merton?
Yes.
Well, I can remember one of my very first races, being a big wig, everyone... Easy with a big wig. Being one of these top-class
I
athletes...
don't think they got it. It'd be as easy as you like with it.
And
I got it.
I was in one of these very short shorts, and we used to wear what we call athletic supports, jockstrap in the common vernacular. When the gun went bang, boom, I was happy, running down the back straight. All of a sudden, I heard twang. Now, that wasn't my hamstring, Mrs. Merton. That was my jockstrap. And all of a sudden...
Did it smart?
I mean, my face smarted. It went a little bit red, Mrs. Merton, believe it or not.
I bet you did.
And I went, woo! And I was running down the back straight, and I was trying to dress myself properly, Mrs. Merton. And when I crossed that line, boom, I was in the car, see ya! So that's why now
Did you
we
win?
wear those lycra shorts,
I
because
see, to
look
hold
after
it
modesty.
all in.
Mrs. Merton.
Do you know, this is in
He's a little tall for that
Manchester,
suit.
We were very upset when we didn't get the Olympic Games, because
So
of course...
was I.
Well,
You guys in Manchester, I was very upset as well.
well, we've got the drugs for them, haven't we?
Not wrong. Drugs came around eventually.
But do you ever breathe in, Chris? You present record breakers, don't you?
right.
What's that all about then?
Breaking records, yeah, well, I mean, it's a show that's been going on for a very long time, even when you was a little girl. Well, maybe not quite when you were a little girl, Mr. Merton, but it's been going on for a very long time, and I've been involved with the programme for the last 2 years.
Yes. But you know what strikes me? When people break those records, isn't it a coincidence that Norris McWhirter's always there?
He's all over the place. He's all over the place. Knows the man. He knows it's intuition. He knows. In fact, you don't know Mrs. Merton, but he's going to be here tonight because yours is going to be a record-breaking show, Mrs. Merton.
Are you on something, Chris?
Probably.
I'm in Manchester, so it must be in the air.
I think it's it. But my friend Lily, she tried to get into the Guinness Book of Records for having the longest beard in the Northwest. He said there was no category for that, and apparently Judith Chalmers is always ringing up. So something there for you to think about. But when they don't actually break these records, you can't help but laugh, can you? You know, you think of the time they spent practicing.
That's life, though, isn't it? I mean,
It is.
a record wouldn't be a record if it wasn't hard to break.
No.
So that's a good. That's what we say to all our record breakers: is that if you don't do it, don't worry. Thousands have tried and thousands have failed. Welcome to the bunch.
Including you.
And does that help them?
No.
No. Can I say to you, most sportsmen, you know, they don't have personalities. Sebastian Coe springs to mind here.
Damn.
Can I just say, and this is why I like you so much, you're oozing personality out of every orifice.
That's Sebastian Cole again.
Can I just blow my nose?
Ladies and gentlemen, will you thank Chris Akabusi?
Didn't think I'd have Sebastian Cole mentioned twice in 2 weeks. I'm not hearing about him for 5 years.
Unlike her husband, Paul Daniels, who's known for his cunning stunts, my next guest is known for her stunning costumes. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Debbie McGee.
This is my Christmas present all over again.
He couldn't resist that.
Was that a trick?
I think that's what they call it in America, but I have to stop there.
No, Paul's not.
What they call you in America. Paul Daniels punch in the air.
So, Debbie, you're very pleasing on the eye, if I might say so. I think Chris has
I
realised that.
Thank you.
But what first, Debbie, attracted you to the millionaire Paul Daniels?
Damn. That's a good line.
Well... now, well, do you really want to know
Yes,
the
I
truth?
do.
Paul married me for my money.
Ah. Nice.
But in fact, when I how I met Paul was that I worked with him, but I had no idea who he was or what he did. I'd lived out of the country and he'd become famous.
Yes.
And I was a dancer and I auditioned for his show, but I never met Paul.
No.
And then they said, well, you know, it's the Paul Daniels show. So I had to ring up my friends and say,
Who is he?
I've got this job with this guy called Paul Daniels, you know, what does he do? And they said, he's a magician. I said, oh no, I hate magicians. Oh, I've got 4 months of this. But then, you see, his looks and sex appeal attracted
Won
me.
you
and
over.
there
You
we
know,
are.
I think you'd be both as our version of David Copperfield and Claudia Schiffer, but, you know, on a lower budget. Do you get compared to them two?
All the time. I know, it's very confusing for people, actually.
is.
You know, they mistake me for Claudia Schiffer. I know, it's horrible.
And I once
And
saw...
Paul for David
I
Copperfield.
bet they do. Well, I once saw David Copperfield and he made the Statue of Liberty disappear. And I've seen your Paul do the same thing with the 8 of clubs. Something there for you to think of. But David, we all know you as Paul Daniels' assistant, but what people don't know is you're a person in your own right, aren't you?
Yes, here I am.
Lovely. Okay. Ogling you. But tell us about that.
About me?
Yes.
Well, now people are going to get to know that I'm a person even more because we're doing a new TV show called Secrets.
Oh, boy.
And it's a nightclub and we both co-host it. So where in the past they haven't let me talk, they've
They
now
can't.
given me a mic and they're starting to regret it because I come on and tell jokes and
Do you?
interrupt Paul and say, look, I don't like that trick, you know, let's do something else, or what are you doing? And
Do you do tricks for each other at home? Does he make things... Does he make things pop up willy-nilly?
This is called for nice, Mrs.
yes.
Debbie, you know, we're taking magic very lightly here, aren't we? But it can actually be dangerous. And a friend of mine, Betty, you know, she was once at a magic show and the magician, he produced a watch from behind her ear. And you know something, Debbie? She's never been the same. And she's now in a home where they can only feed her soup. Does that worry you at all?
No, I think I was affected before I got involved in it.
Really?
Yes.
But you know, let me put a hypothetical question to you. say you
That's a
wake
long
up.
word.
It is, isn't it? But I got it out. Say, that's magic, isn't it? Say you wake up of a night and you're in your bed and you just wake up and you just put your hand out to stroke Paul's little head. And he's not there. Do you look up and he's at the end of the bed pulling doves out of his pyjamas? Sort of thing? Do you find that happens? Quite a lot.
Quite a lot. Yeah. Yes, he pulls things out of his pyjamas. He doesn't wear pyjamas.
We're finding out the truth now.
I'm very honest.
So what does he wear?
His birthday suit.
Birthday. Oh, I'm feeling nauseous now. Nauseous. But my husband, he's a great fan of Paul Daniels.
Yes. By the way, are you Paul Merton's mother? Someone told me.
No. Are you?
No.
No, but my husband's a great
Was Paul ever
fan
on this
of
show?
Paul Daniels, he really, really is. And that and anything with Alan Titchmarsh in. Any strong views on Alan Titchmarsh, Chris? One way or the other?
Who is that Titchmarsh?
You were on his show once.
Was I? No!
Wait, on Pebble Mill, he's the...
Oh, sorry!
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah!
Do you remember now?
Yeah, nice guy.
Oh, very memorable, isn't it? What I'm going to do with you now, Debbie, I'm going to throw you open to the general public in here and see what questions they'd like to ask you. Who would like to ask Debbie McGee a question? What about Jeff up there at the back?
Debbie,
Jeff?
I'd like to ask you, what's your favourite trick, and do you ever get backache?
That's a bit saucy, isn't it?
It is a bit saucy, isn't it?
Don't answer
Well,
it.
actually,
Don't. He's funny, Jeff.
I think
Don't answer it.
Yeah, it's fuck
making
Jeff.
rude people disappear. I think that's my favourite
That's a
trick.
mob.
Yeah.
Do you know, I've seen Paul make you disappear
Yeah,
on the
it's-
telly. Are you going to make Paul disappear? Because that would guarantee
Yes,
a lot of
actually.
viewers. So any other questions for Deb? What about this lady here with the glasses on?
You know the one where you get sawn in half? How do you do that?
Debbie, how do you
Beautifully.
do that?
Beautifully.
You can't tell that
No,
lady
I can't
then.
tell. No, I'd get the sack. I chucked out the magic circle.
Has a trick ever gone wrong like that? Well,
Yes.
obviously not, but
You want to see the scars, do you?
you know, Chris does.
Chris definitely does.
We flew up. This is really funny. We flew up on the same plane together, but
With
we
the
didn't
same
know.
crate of lager.
Yeah.
We didn't know who we were.
Oh,
So we
yes.
both smiled and said hello.
How'd you do?
Hello. And we came out of the airport and headed for the same taxi man, you know, that
Oh,
had
yes,
the
yes,
TV
yes.
company. And we both looked at each other and thought, oh, we're travelling together.
And then you got the little ding.
It's you. And he said, oh, and it's you see.
Paul
So I
Daniels
take it
absolutely
you'll be
punching the
staying
air
in
watching
the
this.
same hotel tonight. Need we say more? Back to Paul Daniels. I think you've forgotten for the moment. No, but you know when you're assisting him, you always look very, very glamorous. You always look
Thank you.
lovely. Do you choose those outfits yourself, or does Paul have a hand in it?
I choose them and I have them made, so I'm sort of involved with the drawings and buying the fabric and everything.
Lovely, lovely.
Yeah, it's fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you thank the lovely Debbie McGee?
Get those two a coffee with some water.
Okay, did you like Debbie?
She was lovely, yeah?
Yeah, I saw you ogling her with them leather trousers on. So, Jean, are you all right there in that jacket?
Yes, thank you.
You don't want to take it off?
No, thank you.
You won't feel the benefit of it when you get it home. My next
She a
guest
priest?
has been described as Britain's tallest man. Here to tell us why, please welcome Britain's tallest man, Chris Greener.
Oh, damn. He do be tall. Surprised he can walk. Jesus Christ. How tall is he?
Look at that difference. Oh, lovely. Sit down. Lovely to have you on, Chris.
Lovely to be here.
Oh, I wish I'd put my heels on. I really
You can borrow mine if you like.
do. You are tall, aren't you?
So it says.
Do you think he's tall, G?
I do.
What about you, Ada? Do you think he's tall?
Yes, a bit taller than me, isn't he?
Yeah. Do you think he's taller in the front? Yeah. They all do, Chris. They all do. So, tell me, you're Britain's tallest man,
that's right.
aren't you? So, how tall exactly are you?
7 feet 6 1/4 inches.
Damn.
Are you the world's tallest
No,
man?
the tallest man in the world is about an inch taller than me.
Oh, we'll keep trying.
Holding his knee. His knee's probably
So, tell
burning
me,
like hell.
a lot of the ladies in the audience
Yes.
are dying for me to ask you this question. How big is your wife? What do you say?
I'm not married.
Are you not?
No.
Oh.
Even with these long legs, I still can't run fast enough.
Have you had to specially adapt your life to cope with your enormity? At all, in any way?
No, not really. I haven't changed my house at all. It's still the same old house it was when it was built.
Really?
Duck when I go through the doorways.
Do you?
Yes.
But you've done some films, haven't you? What films were they?
Probably the best known film was Elephant Man.
Elephant Man.
Yes. And,
And what part were you in that?
I played the giant.
The Giant?
Oh,
Did audition for the dwarfs, but the costume didn't fit.
he's that guy.
So
Okay.
you played what other sorts of films have you done?
I was in a film called Gun Bus where I played a giant. And
You're getting typecast,
yes.
aren't you?
I did a film did this filming in Czechoslovakia. It was called The Brave Little Tailor. I
You
played
weren't the little tailor then.
No, I
No.
was a giant again.
But do you like animals, Chris?
Do I like animals?
Yes.
I love them.
Do you?
Yes.
Why are baboons' bottoms so red? Something I always wonder about.
Well, it's funny you should say that because actually I do wonder about that as well.
But, you know, I take it you've never done anything to stunt your growth like smoking or any other dirty...
Not really. No.
See, Bernard, this could have been you. No. It's been marvellous having you on, Chris. It really, really has. If you get any taller, Chris, will you come back and tell us all about it? Yeah.
I'd be delighted to.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, will you thank Chris Greener? Thank you very much. How tall are you, Ada?
About 5
How tall are
foot,
you?
I think, now.
5 foot, 5 foot. Give her a round of applause. Lovely. My next guest started off putting on funny hats and doing silly voices to entertain his family. He now entertains the nation doing exactly the same thing.
Yep.
Let's have a madcap 5 minutes in the company of award-winning funny man, Steve Coogan. Lovely.
He should have come out as Partridge.
Lovely. Lovely to have you on. And you are a big hit in the world of comedy with the younger element, aren't you? But a lot of the older people, they have absolutely no clue as to who you are. Who are you, Steve?
Who am I?
Yes.
I'm Steve Coogan,
Steve Coogan.
and I do funny voices and funny characters on television.
You do indeed.
I've never seen
don't
him
you?
out of
And of
character, I
course,
just realised.
You started off on Spitting Image, didn't you? As an impressionist. Tell us about that.
Well, Spitting Image is basically it's a program with rubber puppets. You see,
How do you get into them?
it's a very tight fit.
It is. I bet it is. But tell us what voices you did on
Oh, I
that.
did Neil Kinnock.
Neil Kinnock.
I did Neil Kinnock, you know, with his lovely round Welsh voice shouting very loudly like that.
That's marvellous. Who else did you do?
Ronnie Corbett.
Oh, do Ronnie. We would like to see Ronnie Corbett. Do Ronnie Corbett.
Good evening. Good evening. You know. Good evening and welcome. You know. Good heavens.
It's right. Can you do Frank Spencer? Oh, go on. on, we'd love to see it. Because a lot of these older people tonight, they've come a long way in a specially adapted coach just to see you. And it'll be a treat for
Do you want
them.
to do Harold Wilson as well?
Yes, all the topical one. Do
right.
Frank Spencer.
Put it over there or do it in the morning.
Now, I wish they'd bring him back. But now, of course, you've started moving on to do characters, haven't you? And you do Alan Partridge, which is a made-up character who hosts a chat show. That's a very unusual idea, isn't it? But very successful. Tell me, did you enjoy playing Alan?
Oh, it was great fun. It was great fun.
Still doing it.
Because, of course, you get to make fun of your guests.
And you enjoy that, do you?
Sound familiar?
No, not at all. No, I did watch it and I thought it was very, very good. But, you know, I think you will be as big as Mike Yarwood one day.
I look forward to that.
Everybody loves to laugh, don't they? We all love to laugh. Do you think that's helped you in your career as a comedian?
Yeah, because, you know, it's a very simple, because you know that if people are laughing at what you do,
They like it.
they like it.
And they
if
think
they're
it-
not laughing,
They don't.
they don't like it.
But, you know, now you've got all this newfound wealth, all this money, you've not gone and blown it on a fast sports car like a Porsche, have you? Or anything like that. What car do you drive, Steve?
A Porsche.
Was that your Porsche you were driving earlier? Only I saw Hooky and the boys, they were pushing a stripe on it with the keys. So, you've them to thank for that. It was, so you've them to thank for that. Oh, Steve, hang on a minute there. Now, you're doing very well, don't go. Nick, has that Debbie McGee gone? Yes? Oh, do Paul Daniels for us. We'd love to see it.
Now you will like this. Not a lot, but you'll like it.
We had the tallest man on before you. I don't know whether you saw him. Did you see him?
Yes, I did. He was very tall.
He was
It was very tall, yeah.
Could you impersonate somebody that tall?
I'll have a go.
Oh, yes!
I like to rise to a challenge.
You doing it? Who'd
Literally.
have thought standing on a couch could be so funny? You young up-and-coming comedians. But how would you impersonate a man like him? What sort of voice would you do for him?
What, for a tall man?
Yes.
Do a very tall voice and go, oh, I'm tall.
But most comedians, behind their happy, happy face, there is a sad secret. What's your sad secret? Get it out on national television. Give it an opening.
I've got a bit of flab round my waist.
Can we see it?
No.
Do Frank Spencer again, then. I'm going to throw you open at this point, Steve Coogan. I'm going to throw you open to the general public. So, Bernard, what would you like to
Did you
ask?
have a particular person in mind to use as a model for Alan Partridge?
Did you? Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, yeah. Well, lots of people from all over the sort of broadcasting world. People like Alan Titchmarsh, you mentioned earlier. You know, David Coleman, Terry Wogan, Terry Christian. You know,
And he was...
other people called Terry. You know.
It's very good.
A little
character.
smidgen of you in there as well.
Really?
Like that, yeah.
Which bit?
Terry
Questions,
Boyle.
Steve Coogan. What about this lady here?
Steve, can you do Jeremy Paxman?
Jeremy Paxman.
Yes, and now on Newsnight, he'd sort of accentuate the odd word for no apparent reason, you know.
So, sorry, is that not funny?
No, it was very good. It was very good. I'm just desperate trying to remember who Jeremy Paxman is. I'm sure it's just like him.
Like Jeremy Beadle, but a bit more serious.
Oh, can you do Jeremy Beadle?
No.
Oh, that's a shame. So, Steve, it's been lovely to talk
He can
about you.
do
Did you ever
pranks like Jeremy Beadle.
dream years and years ago you'd be on the same show as Chris Akabusi, Debbie McGee and a big tall man?
I did, funnily enough.
Do you know something, Stephen? I really mean this. You don't look out of place. You really don't. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Coogan.
This really is a hell of a crossover. He should have came back as Parkers, though. That would have been funny.
Well, that's all for this week. I'd like to thank all my guests tonight. Chris Akabusi, Debbie McGee, Chris Greener and Steve Coogan. Take it away, Hookie and the boys.
Oh, shit. There's some nuns in the back? What the hell? Nice. So I'd now like to present a bit of an epilogue. Obviously we know what Steve Coogan is doing, and rest in peace Caroline Ahern. So Chris Akabusi is now 64 and is currently a presenter on GB News. So Debbie McGee remained married to Paul Daniels until he died in 2016, and she is now on Loose Women and also GB News. And so I guess they're still friends. And Christopher Greener, despite his gigantism and abnormally for people that have that disease, actually lived a pretty long life. It seemed he died in 2015. And made it to 71 years old. Which good for him, honestly, because I know there's so many people, you know, with that disease that don't make it that long. I mean, you know, hell, he was taller than Andre the Giant. How old was Andre the Giant? Like, fucking like 45 or something? Let me look it up real quick. He was, yeah, 46. I was close. So yeah, man, a lot of people don't make it very long with that disease, and he made it almost to the average life cycle, which is incredible. So rest in peace to him. So yeah, I'm glad I was able to see that episode of the show, because again, these episodes are hard to come by. Maybe at some point later on, more full episodes of this will come around. If anybody has them, let me know, or feel free to upload them to YouTube, because again, there's copyright on the show, but there's no blog, so I don't know why. This is the show. It's very surprising to me there's not full episodes rarely available. What happened to my forehead? I don't know what happened there. Maybe I got bit by something. I just noticed that. I don't know, brother. But we still have that other Christmas special, so we'll probably do another episode of this come December. But for now, that is it for my second reaction to Miss Merton Show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to leave it a like. If you didn't like it, don't. If you want to follow any of my social media links, they're all in the video description down below, as well as the names of all my Patrons. If you didn't know, you can be a patron on me for as little as $1 you get extra reaction videos, as well as reading your comments up to date early, sometimes more. With all that being said, though, my name is Taffy. This is my second reaction to Miss Merton Show, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.